in this particular system, there are two different WordPress menus. There is this menu up here at the top, which most people see, and that is known as the header menu. Then there's another menu down here, just kind of a brief, quick menu. Doesn't have any submenus or anything. It's not programmed for that, and it's just a kind of a quick shortcut menu to the 5 main points that we see up here on the header menu. So now I'm going to show you how to go in here, and changing this menu is fairly simple. It's just adding or deleting menu entries from the WordPress menu interface. This one is a little bit more complex. As you see, we have submenus and stuff here. So we're going to go ahead and go over this one, and it's going to give you all the information you're going to need to alter this one very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the administrative interface here. And we're going to come over here to the left side of the dashboard under Appearance, and we're going to come over to Menus and click on that. And that's going to bring us into the interface for the WordPress menus. So the first thing we're going to see here, we're in the header menu already. If we wanted to go to the footer menu, we could click over there. I'm going to just scroll down here so you can see the header menu, and you see it's quite long. Bit complex, and then you'll see the footer menu is much more simple because there's not all these sub menus and all these different layers. You see there's just a quick 5 links there, and that's what all of these represent. These actually all represent a menu link. So let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So here you'll see in the first portion of the header menu, you'll see About Us, and then you'll see these are pushed over to the side, and that means that these are sub-menus of About Us. This is a top-level menu, and here we have a sub-menu, and here we even have a sub-menu of a sub-menu. Coming down here, we have this sub-menu continued, and then we have another top-level menu here letting us know that this sub-menu is now complete. So let's go take a look at that on the outside here. And sure enough, we have About Us. We have I'm New Here, Our History, Staff with a sub-menu, all of our different staff there, Where to Find Us, What We Believe, Affiliates. Now, I want to show you how to just make a really, really quick change here. Let's say that I wanted affiliates to actually be a sub-menu of What We Believe. Probably would never want that to be that. But let's just say that we did, for sake of argument. I'm just going to move that over. Just going to grab that and just move that over there. And then I'm going to come up here and click on Save Menu. Now, the WordPress administrative interface for menus is very intuitive and very easy to use, but it can be a little disconcerting when you first see it because you've got all these other boxes over here, and then you look and you'll see this huge collection of menu entries, and you're thinking, wow, how can I ever really edit that? Well, it's actually really, really easy to edit. Really easy to edit. As you're going to see now up here in the front, I'm going to refresh. And once this page has refreshed here, then we'll open up the About Us menu, and we'll see the change that we just made reflected here out front. Now, What We Believe, we have affiliates as a flyout menu under that, and you'll see it automatically put in a little arrow there denoting that we have a submenu for that particular item. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to change that because we don't want like that. I'm just going to drag that, and I'm going to make sure that I don't want to drag that all the way over here because this is a submenu of About Us. If I were to drag that all the way over here, then this would become its own top-level menu, just like the other menus. I'm going to go ahead and do that just so you can see what happens when I do that. Over here back to the front, and remember to see our changes once we've actually made them in the WordPress interface. We're going to want to refresh our screen out here in the front. If not, we won't actually be able to see the changes that we made. So this is running kind of slow right now. We've been doing a lot of development on the system today. Usually it'll be much more responsive than this. So go ahead and refresh the page. And now you see, now our menu is too wide across. We've got affiliates has all of a sudden showed up here, and it's actually pushed everything over and moved sermons down to a second level. So in this particular menu, you've got all the top level menus that you're going to want right now. Everything that you're going to want to be creating is going to want to be a sub menu of any other menu in this particular system at this time. If not, you're going to want to do some shuffling around so that you can avoid this happening. So really, there is only limited space for top-level menus, but it's virtually unlimited space for the submenus that you see right here. So why this is taking its own sweet time, there we go. Let's go ahead and refresh this over here. And now we'll see that our menu's gone back to normal with the affiliates now has been removed. And we're going to lose this second line. Now it's been returned to affiliates down here. So that is how we can easily shuffle and change. I could grab affiliates and I could move it up here. I could move it over here and make it part of that, or I can just grab it and move it right back down there and leave it where it was. And no matter, I can just play with this menu until I get it where I want to, and then nothing is going to happen out front until I actually tell it to save menu. And there's a shortcut there and a shortcut down here, and they both do the same thing. But now, what if I wanted to add, let's say I've added a page. Okay, I've come over here to Pages, and I've clicked Add New, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in a quick page called just Test Page. So I'm going to call it. Publish that real quick. Now, just because I publish a page, it's not going to show up anywhere on the outside of the website. I can publish this page, I can do whatever I want with it. It's not going to show up on the outside of the website because I haven't linked to it anywhere yet. There's no place on this website. You can set your menus to automatically create menu entries for new pages, but very seldom do you actually want to do that in a WordPress system. So since I don't have a link, this isn't going to show up anywhere on the outside. So I'm going to come over here to Menus, and since we were already on this page, I'm going to need to refresh it so I can actually show you what I'm doing here and how I can add how it is very, very easy it is to add new pages to our menus here in WordPress. Over here on this side, you're going to see theme locations, and it's going to show you the different menus that you can have for header and footer. You can actually create multiple menus if you want, and then change them from here, as a matter of fact. So if for some reason you had one menu that you were going to use per se during the summertime and another one that you'd use during the wintertime pointing to different pages, you could actually do that here in the system very simply, just by clicking this and adding a new menu name is all it is. And then you can and then you can change these at will. Very, very simple to do. But what I want to do is I want to add the new page I just created. So if I come down here and I see pages, and you could also add by category. I could also add by calendar. It's very simple. It's the same process for adding a menu entry for any of those. You're going to see under the first thing that's going to be highlighted is most recent, and we're going to see the page that I just created, test page, is right there. So I'm just going to select that, and I could select more if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that though because they're already in there. I don't need to add them. I'm just going to click test page. If I didn't see what I wanted on this page, I could come over here to view all, and it's going to give me a list of all pages that are in our system, including the test page. But I'm just going to stay over here on most recent, and the last page created by anyone is what's going to show up right here, and I'm just going to click add to menu. Then if I come down here at the bottom, now I see I have test page right here. I'm going to go ahead and make it a submenu item sermon right underneath sermon. So it's the first thing when somebody hovers over sermon and comes down, it's the first thing that they're going to see. So now I'm going to save that. Once again, I apologize for the system running so slow. We have done a lot of development on it today. So once this is refreshed, I'm going to come back out here and refresh our front page. And now underneath sermons, sure enough, there's my test page. If I click on it, it's going to take me directly to the test page that I created, titled test page with comment system and absolutely no content, and a full web page, no sidebar even. So that is the that is how you very, very easily, as I said before, add any new pages that you create to the menu. Turn them into a submenu. You can easily move them around in the menu hierarchy wherever you want. Now let's talk about how we get rid of that menu entry, because obviously I don't actually want test page to be showing up out there. So here, as I hover over these menu entries, you'll see I get this little 4-directional arrow letting me know I can move this any place I want. I also get this little thing over here denoting that this is a page, and then I have this little drop down arrow, and when I click on that, now I see the label here, and let's say I could just take page off of there, and now I could come up here and click Save Menu Item. And now out in the front, instead of that being called test page, I'm going to come back over here, wait for this to save, and then refresh the page. And now instead of being called test page, now I'm just going to get a menu item. But when I click it, it's still going to go to test page. It's not going to change the name of that page or anything. Still going to the same page. None of the content on the page is going to change or anything. But the name of that particular menu item is going to change. So you can also just change the name of the menu item just by coming in, clicking on that little arrow, and just changing the navigation label. Title attribute, you don't have to worry about that. Title attributes are really only used by screen readers and also occasionally for SEO. But I want to get rid of this, is what I want to do. If I didn't want to make any changes, I could click cancel, and then it won't do anything. Any changes that I made will go away. But I want to actually remove it, so I'm just going to come over here and click remove. Now, you're going to see it's just going to get, you're going to get a little flash of red, and it's going to disappear. Okay, you're not going to get anything asking you if you want to confirm this. This did not send it to the trash anywhere. It just got rid of the menu item. So you're going to want to be very careful. That's one reason that these are not automatically expanded when you come into the WordPress menu interface, because they want to make sure that you don't accidentally click on those. So if you delete a top level menu accidentally, just to let you know, everything else will simply move up a level. You won't lose anything, but everything there will simply move up a level is exactly what it'll do. So you want to be careful when you delete top level menus. If you want everything else below them to be deleted as well, you're going to have to come in and one by one from the very bottom up, delete all of those before you delete the top level menu. If you delete a top level menu, remember all these other ones will just move up a level and they will stay. So now that I've removed our test page, I'm going to click Save Menu, wait for it to finish saving, and then once we go up to the front and refresh the page, we'll be able to see that now our test page has been removed. Just a moment here. There we are. And now under sermons, you'll see we have just all sermons and our date archives, which is what we see reflected here. All sermons and date archives with a drop-down menu. So that is how you add and remove things from the WordPress menu, and also how you can rearrange and change the menu order and move things into different sub-menus and stuff. Here in the footer menu, you can do this, but it's not going to be reflected out in the front, I'm afraid. Everything here is just going to need to be a top-level menu, and you're only going to be able to have 5 menu items that are relatively going to be, each one of them is going to be letter-wise, you're going to have about 8 to 10 letters in each one, pretty much at kind of a max for the space that can be in there. So, and remember, you can, just because, if this says contact us, if I needed it to be a little less in space, remember, I can just come in and remove whatever I want and save that, and it will still go to the same place. The link that's embedded in there is embedded in the interface itself, so that link isn't going to change. So I can change the navigation label and do whatever else I need to there, and know that in the front, WordPress is still going to direct my visitors to the correct page. So anyway, that is WordPress menus.